I've always looked up to you, so it's like,
You did?
yeah, but I always held myself up to these extremely high expectations, especially because of what you've done in your life.
I never put it on you to do this. I wanted you to be you.
I leaned on the fact that, oh, he's a cool dad. He's doing all these concerts and stuff. Deep inside me, I was like, I want to spend that type of time with my dad.
Why you ain't expressive? You always came first. Y'all always came first. That's the part of success you gotta watch out for. As parents, we try to think for you. Oh, she cool. Oh, she be all right. And not knowing that you ain't cool. You're my daughter, but I had to put standards on you like you was a boy. You gotta hit that wall and see if it hurt. Oh man, just being dirty.
Hey!
Rain, pick that up, get that. Like, why would you leave that?
You hated my little emo phase when I used to wear all the dark liner and the red hair. I used to do my makeup horribly.
Yeah, you got pink eye.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, that's our storybook. I don't know, man.
You be calling everybody else but me.
You do the same thing to me.
Guess where I learned it from?
We copycat. There's really nothing you can really tell a father but just be there for his daughter. You're not gonna hit all points. You're gonna have to sacrifice. Don't be selfish, be selfless.
I said this before so many times that you are still going through life. Your life didn't stop when I was born.
Well, this is therapy for both of us. Come on, so what's next?
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Rain Check. Today I'm here with my dad. Most of you know him as Timbaland, but I know him as Timothy Mosley, and a father who's constantly showing that struggles can become beauty and trying to also learn himself. And I think it's very important to talk upon father and daughter relationships because we've grown to build a very close one in the last few years, and we've always been really close. I remember just always being a daddy's girl, but I went through some years where I didn't really know myself and we lost our relationship. But now, since we have a stronger relationship, I feel like it's important to know these questions. And I feel like with you constantly being in the spotlight, you know, we talk about your childhood semi-often, a lot when grandma comes over, but we never actually talk about where you came from. You know, you talk about it in interviews, but where did you come from, knowing that I know all of those people that you're talking about?
I remember growing up in Norfolk, Virginia. This was an area called Robin Hood. All I remember is like, to me, it was like, I guess you would call it hood, but to me it was more like family. You know, like, I think the hood was community for us, you know what I'm saying? And through the hood, I discovered music. And how I discovered music was through my dad buying a record player and, well, buying a stereo set. And I always would go play vinyl on his record player. I just remember me falling in love with music in the hood. You know what I'm saying? That's what I remember. I remember going over to my grandma's house all the time and working with Granddad and Lance and my uncles, you know, Lance and Eric, and Marcus wasn't really, I don't think he was born yet, but we used to do a lot of garden field work. My granddad always took us out in the field. That's the things I kind of remember, just doing a lot of field work, selling a lot of products to farmers markets. You know, we was doing that. And, but really through my childhood, I just remember me always wanting to somehow do music. DJ a party. I was doing a lot of house parties.
You're DJ Timmy Tim.
Yeah, I was doing mixtapes, you know, a lot of stuff like that. So my memories of me growing up is really just sporadic. Like, I don't have like no long-term memory of like things. It's like moments, you know what I'm saying?
Is there like ever like situations in your life that cause you to remember childhood memories? I know for me, like, somebody would say something and then I'll be like, oh wow, that reminds me of like when I was a kid and I did this. Do you think like it comes and flows in increments? Because right now you're talking, but you listed like a whole bunch of musical things. But when you were a kid, you probably did other things other than music.
No.
You never did?
Everything was centered around music, from breakdancing to battling people. Always something was centered around music, you know. Either was MC Hammer, the baggy clothes. It was always something that got me excited was music. And like going to the football games and stuff like that, that was just moments. The thing that in my childhood was just music. Anything dealing with music, I was there.
Do you feel like having that, knowing that deep down, made you a stronger person, knowing that you had that in you, a more talented person? What did you feel like when you knew that music was the one thing that you could always depend on?
I don't know what I feel like, because even to this day, I still don't know what I feel like. I feel like it's something that I'm glad that I didn't ignore the feeling. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I always chased that feeling, and I think God always put me in the path so I can chase that feeling. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird that you asked that question, because I don't really, all I know was just music. Like, you know, that kept me like sane. If that's what, you know, you're asking, like music always kept me like where I couldn't see outside of that bubble of life. You know what I'm saying?
And were you okay with that? Not being able to see the outside bubble?
Yeah, because I was kind of like, I hung with always a certain amount of group of people, like maybe 4 different people at the times. I never was like an outgoing person. I was always a creative person trying to make something, trying to figure out how to make point A to get to point B. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was little Star Wars toys, like re-putting the arms back on them, Rubik's Cube, trying to figure out the puzzle. I was always a creative person that's trying to figure out the solution to the problem.
And that's what I think leads into you having other aspects other than music. For example, you play video games all the time. What made you fall in love with video games? Because you have a certain sense of video games that's like, oh, I'm on my game right now. It's like almost like you kind of shut out the world too with the video games.
The reason why I like video games because it is like, it's like a virtual reality. I like to imagine, right? So why I like video games so much is because it's just like, I like the setting of it. I like being, if it's in the country, I like sitting I feel like I'm there. It's like an escape, if anything. I feel like
An escape from reality?
I'm not gonna say reality, but it's just like, it's a bubble for the moment. I'm not gonna say escape, because reality still goes on, but I'm like sunk into that. Like if the game is based in Germany, I can make myself feel like I'm in Germany. When I play the game, I feel like I'm in Germany.
Do you think that like being such a creative kid caused you to, now I see you like caught up in all the AI stuff, like virtual is where it's at. You're always constantly like, you need to be in this type of world, you need to see these type of things. Do you think being like a kid, constantly going into the imagination world caused you to have this outlook on where things are coming now? Because anytime you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because this is virtual and this is now new, and you're like getting all into it.
That's the kid. I think I always like anime, I just was attracted to colors, to artificial intelligence, from the Jetsons, from cartoons that you don't even know about. Like just anything like Back to the Future was one of my favorite shows or movies because it was futuristic. I always was a person who always thought, what is the future, not what it was today. You know, every time I was a kid, I'm like, ooh, wow, they got shoelaces that tie up by themselves, stuff like that. I was always an imaginative kid. Like growing up, always dreamed a lot, a big dreamer. And then since I dreamed a lot, I always try to make my dreams come true. You know what I'm saying? For my reality, but I was a big dreamer.
Do you ever feel like your dreams kind of clashed on you when you were going through the big major success part of your life, in the sense of maybe you lost that part of you, or maybe it was still with you, but it just wasn't as strong as it used to be?
What you mean?
When you became successful and you're being like outed to all these new things and seeing people with all this money and all this luxurious stuff. And I know you talk to me all the time, you try to give me lessons upon it, like you don't want to be in that. Do you feel like you were so like much in it that you lost that side of you, the imagination side of you?
I feel at one point of time in my life, I lost that imagination side. But you can kind of feel when you lose it. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel just empty. So when now I have it, you know, you never want to lose that part about you, because that's really the jewel about yourself. Is when you start to lose your imagination, you start to lose yourself, your self-identity. Because when I was seeing all that stuff and into that stuff, I realized that wasn't me. I was trying to be something that I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my success comes from me being weird and awkward. You know what I'm saying? And having that imaginative mind. That's what makes me a genius to me.
What's the difference between the person you were? What were the struggles that person went through compared to how you handle situations now? You went through a lot, especially during the times of your success. Like, what's the difference between those two? How are you as a father? How did that dynamic shift going through dealing with success while also dealing with fatherhood and then dealing with you as a person?
It didn't really shift my perspective on fatherhood. It probably made me have a more respect for fatherhood. You know what I'm saying? It kind of gave my success a purpose in a way. You know what I'm saying? So I really think it was needed. Fatherhood was needed in my life, because success could have destroyed me, because you get caught up in so many things. But being that I was raised a certain way, and I always, God will place things that you don't know that you need in your life. And fatherhood was the thing that I needed to balance success. Because if I didn't, I could have been destroyed.
Do you think God is the key thing that helped you?
Oh, God is the major key.
I know, but you can't just say How was that to you?
Well, how's that to me? Jesus Christ is everything to me, because through the ups and downs and through just life and just navigating life, if you don't have that balance and don't know Jesus, like, you can lose yourself. So there's been moments where I did lose myself, but God always had his hands on me. Because through the mess, I never forgot God. You know what I'm saying? That's what, even through my confusion, prayer, and as you know, grandma praying and always sowing seeds, has always have God have his hands on me. So when success started to get a little out of hand, God always have a way of reminding you to sit back down and shaping you back up. So that was a major part of, my success and navigating through it.
I want to dwell back on to the concept of fatherhood, because I'm your only daughter.
Yes, you are.
And what is that like, raising me? Because I think now it's a little different. I've grown up some more. I feel like we connect a little bit more. And we don't have the relationship you may see on TV or shows, or the common relationship where it's like the standard conversations you have with your father. And sometimes we don't even talk for a while. It's just we have our one long conversation and that's it. Like, how do you view that as a relationship with me?
I think me and you talk, what's that word? Telepathic. I think we speak a lot of ways, because it's like your energy, I think I can feel your energy when you feel mine. And I think we don't, I really look at you now, like, as you getting to be a young adult, as you being my daughter, I think I just love watching you become the person that you are, and trying to help navigate you through life as much as I can, as much as I know as a father to help you. It's a beautiful thing watching, I always hear stories like, wait till she get this, wait till your daughter get this, wait till your daughter. I don't know. I love our long talks. I don't have to talk to you all the time. I can just look at you and just feel your energy. It's a blessing. I mean, you're connected to me. I can feel when you're down. I don't have to ask you. I can just feel it. I think those are things that, like, to me, that I cherish now as you get older, because you're going to be a woman, you know what I'm saying? And I just, as a father, I try to have more talks now, because I feel like the talks are more meaningful now as you become a young lady, as you journey off to your life. I think it's more precious than it's ever been. You know what I'm saying? I remember when you was little, baby, those are precious moments. But as I look back now, you're driving, you're about to go to college. It's just a different process for me when it comes to father. I don't really have to have 1,000 talks with you. We don't have to do the normal. We do our little run but that's just enough. I don't know if it's enough for you, but I feel like it is enough for us because you have my personality traits where you get a burst, you're like, all right, let me go back into my room. Let me go sit to myself.
Yeah, I got that side for you a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like really a homebody, and people are like, you want to go? Like after my social battery runs out fast, and I realize I get that from you. Like I could be the life of the party, and I could see you do that too. Sometimes you'll be like, you'll come in with the most energy, but you'll leave with like the least energy, and you'll be like, all right, it's my time to go.
It's a drink. I don't know. It's like a. I don't know. I think we got low battery.
It's called social battery. We got low social battery.
Yeah, like it's like, man, because it's like it'll come in a spurts, then it's like whoop, 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 whoop. And it's
And then comes fast
like then I'm up in a room somewhere. Then it could be just getting old too. But for you to do it, it makes me feel like, okay, it ain't no old thing. It's just a personality trait thing. It's just who we are.
I guess it's for me, it's like I've always looked up to you. So it's like certain, yeah, but, oh my gosh.
Tripping, bro.
Okay. But I get what you're saying though about how maybe I don't feel like you were always there. And now I do, but when I was younger, I remember I didn't. I was questioning why you didn't spend as much time with like me as other parents would with their kids. Because growing up, I saw either it was the nannies taking care of the kids, going to a private school that I did, or it was the parents had like nightly dinner every night, or the dad was always like wondering what the daughter was up to. And I was like, why doesn't my dad do that? But then I also saw you working all the time, and I leaned on the fact that, oh, he's a cool dad. Like, he's doing all these concerts and stuff. So my dad's not like yours. So it's okay. But then deep inside me, I was like, well, I want to spend that type of time with my dad. I was like, I want to spend.
Why you didn't express it? No,
I was young. I didn't know how to feel. And then after that, you and mom got the divorce. And then I was like, well, now I really don't know how to feel. Like, now you guys I remember throwing a whole tantrum. And then I was like, I really don't know how to feel. But I always saw you putting on like a brave face, or if not, you were more kept to yourself. So I was like, if dad's not showing any emotions, I don't need to show any emotions to him. But I showed my emotions through other things. And I would throw tantrums, and you would never come to me though either. You used to call people like Aunt Michelle or mom, like, what's Rain doing? Rain's doing this, or Rain's doing that. But you would never tell me if I was doing something. And why would you do that?
I don't know. That's our storybook. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
You'd be calling everybody else but me. You tell everybody else what I had going on but me.
But you do the same thing to me.
Guess where I learned it from?
What did we just do? We copycat. I think that's why now, at first, like, hearing those things that I wasn't there, like, like, I know we had plenty of talks about that. That's a part of success you got to watch out for. You always came first. Y'all always came first. That wasn't the problem. But sometimes coming first and not putting the time in doesn't equal up. You wouldn't know if you come first. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that now. So what I tell you about success is so you can avoid some of the mistakes just as a father. And when you become a mother, try to avoid, because I feel like you're going to be successful, but try to manage the success. Try to, take these moments that you felt that I didn't give to you and try. I'm not gonna say you won't, because only God knows what you would do. But you take these moments and try to cater your life to do a little better. You can't say be better, because we can't predict tomorrow. But those are the things that, like, I feel like my success, me going to the studio, me just feeling myself and doing certain things, and it got a little, I didn't know, and as parents, we try to think for you. Oh, she cool. Oh, she be all right. She cool. And not knowing that you ain't cool. You understand? So it's like, it's those things that the bad part of success can come when you have a family, if you try to raise kids. But, in my eyes, everything, and still is, about y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I try to tell you these things so you don't make the same mistakes or try to run into the mistakes.
You're always trying to be the protector, though. Like, I feel
that's not supposed to be.
Well, do you ever feel like you need protecting?
Yeah, but do you ever ask me, do y'all need protecting?
No, I haven't. That's why I'm asking you now.
You'll look at me, say, "You all right?" You'll see me in tears if I'm crying. "You okay, Dad?" So and for me, I don't say, "Dang, I wish my daughter come and give me a hug." I just know that I'm looking at a reflection of myself.
Well,
So,
it's weird because you
you know what I'm
constantly
saying?
have this brave face on.
No, but you know what I'm saying? But just to me, I'll tell you this. For me, it's just the presence. I'm good with just the presence. I'm not, because if I don't give out a lot of words, why would I want a lot of words given to me? You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
some people crave that.
But
Like,
I don't think we're like that. I think we get annoyed at that. And I think me personally, I think you would take more words from family members more than from me, because
I take words from you, especially
no,
now.
no. We take words from me, but it's like comfort. My comfort, me and your comfort is like a Mr. Rogers meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about life, like, let me tell you, Rain, this is what blah, blah, blah. And it's like, versus how you might go to your aunt and grandma, it's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a difference. It's also like more eye-opening. For example, me just recently telling you like, oh, I was going through depression, like I was going through it. And nobody really realized, but you were like, I realized. But I was like, but you didn't say anything. And you were like, but I felt your presence. I was like, dang, in the back of my mind, I really needed you during that time. Why do you think it's important for like fathers and daughters to have that relationship? And do you feel any type of way about me telling you that as of recently?
Oh, of course, when you first told me, yeah, it was, just a reflection, because, as a parent, you try to make sure you cross off all the boxes. But I realize in life that I'm only human. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things when the person get their pain, when I'm dealing with my pain, maybe I should express something that I'm dealing with, maybe. So therefore I can step forth and be the man that I should have been or could have been. It's like my communication skills, even when it came to y'all, wasn't as brilliant, because I had so much other stuff on my mind at that moment. And when you told me that you was, depressed, it was just like, it's always a blow, because I always try to be, it bothered me, everything. It bothered me, but I prayed on it, and I just try not to try to open up and be better. You know what I'm saying? I can't go back and change nothing, but all I can do is be better, so I don't try to make those mistakes again. And I didn't know you needed me in a way. I thought I was being there for you, you know what I'm saying? But now that I feel like sometimes you even discovering yourself and knowing what you maybe needed from me, or some things I might have thought I was doing, maybe like, how I was, Rain gotta do this, Rain, you always say Rain, but maybe I was saying your name, but I wasn't giving Rain the affection that Rain needed. And maybe I thought I was, but I didn't know.
Do you say like a lot of things in your head without speaking them, like more of a thought? Because you always talked about how you think about things, but I feel like you say less than what you actually think, which could be damaging or good. In situations, life is life. Everything's gonna happen the way it needs to happen. However, I feel like there's some things you just keep to yourself and you don't say, even though maybe there would have been an outcome to things you could have said. As simple as you not saying anything to me, there could have been an outcome of you saying something to me. Do you feel like you hold those things more deeply upon you?
I feel like at that stage in my life, yeah, I feel like I maybe rehearsed a lot of things in my head, but never expressed them. But as I look back on it, it definitely was that. I don't think I knew how to express certain things, because, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I really know how to express at that moment how I was feeling, So my affection was being around, being there, you know what I'm saying? And like, you was 11 and 10, we'll go watch cartoons together. I thought that was like,
I know.
yeah, you'll be like, Dad, I'm about to go to bed. Can you come lay with me and I'll lay with you? So I thought, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking all that, and I'm like, Rain, what you doing? You need to go brush your teeth. You need to do this. You need to do this. So I'm thinking that's that, enough, but I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? But I think when I think about those moments, I think maybe I could have sit down and said, hey, how you feeling? But even times I did ask you how you was feeling, you'll be like, I'm cool. So you never really expressed. So it was like a
push and pull kind of situation.
yeah.
Especially with me too, because I feel like there's certain times where I want to ask you something, but I'm like, nah.
See?
Especially because it's like, you're my dad. So that's what I think. I'm like, oh, you're dad, what do I say to him? Like, especially because if I see you in an emotional state, I don't know how to receive it and how to continue with feeling about it. Because I'm like, okay, well, he feels that way, but how do I approach him in that manner?
Well, I think you've gotten better with it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you learn to unlearn things. And in life, like you go through so many experiences, you start unlearning maybe bad habits, maybe habits that you just don't want, even if they're good, like you just don't want them. And then you start learning different habits. Like I'm learning how to be more emotionally acceptant to you and how to understanding that you're not just my dad, like you're also your own person. And I said this before so many times that you are still going through life. Like your life didn't stop when I was born. And
True.
So it just became better maybe, but amazing, but,
Yeah.
but it didn't stop. And so it was like just more life and more hardships and more happiness, just so many different levels. And it's a really interesting thing because I guess it just comes from your parents because I've also seen grandma just be so tough. Like she's always so tough and I never seen you really show any emotion. And I felt like I saw so much of that in you. Because she was always like, oh, no, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. Because she was always so much, let me hear other people's emotions, but I'm not going to tell you how I feel. And I kind of saw that trait in you, and I kind of went about it the same. Because I would never go to grandma and be like, oh, are you okay, grandma? Which I could learn, because I think everybody should hear that once in a while. Like, are you okay?
Yeah, but you don't do that either.
I know. That's why I'm trying to learn. That's the point of learning.
And when you do it, you be like, you okay?
It's hard. Like
exactly. So you need to be asked. So
that's what I'm doing. I'm saying I'm learning to unlearn things and learning new things, but it's just different.
Well, what's the difference?
It's different because you see somebody on a different level than you have before.
So I feel like I'm your twin, right? And I feel like you're trying to figure out why you got certain traits too. That's what I feel like. I feel like you're trying to pick my brain to figure out why you that way. Huh?
No, it's just I'm learning.
Bruh, I feel like you're trying to trick me up in here. I'm like, wait a minute, you do these things, so how can I do?
I do these things. I get them from you.
Okay. Well, this is therapy for both of us.
Well, we're gonna play a little game, and it's called Beat the Clock. But it's more so like, how well do you know me, or how well do you think you know me?
Whoa.
So
I might lose this one.
If you're silent, that's even better. It's okay. You might not know me as well as you think you know me. But
I probably don't.
We're gonna answer some questions.
Because you funny style, bro.
How?
You shut that door and I don't know what be going on.
No.
You be talking about, you'll say, oh, this friend. I'm like, well, we ain't never talk about this friend. You ain't never, I'm going over this. You know Amy, you saw she came to my house, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, when did I meet this person?
Well, sometimes you actually do meet them, you just forget. Actually. But we're gonna play and you have to answer as possibly fast as you can. And if not,
you know my brain don't operate that fast. Come on.
Okay. We're gonna still play anyways.
Yeah, we're gonna play though.
What's something I do that immediately reminds me of yourself?
Facial expression.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
What?
And you know, I was just talking about this with the girls, that I have a sad resting face. And I get that from you because you be looking sad sometimes. You be like, I'm all right, I'm chill, I'm cool. And I have a sad resting face.
I won. Ding, 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 ding. Family Feud says.
And the next question is, what is one of my fashion choices that you used to make you cringe? I know it, but because you used to tell me. Fashion or like a phase I went through that used to make you cringe.
Nothing really. Made me cringe. Fashion?
Fashion or just phases.
Oh man.
What?
Just being dirty.
Hey.
I'm like, Ray, pick that up. Get that. Like, why would you leave that? Yeah, I used to hate that. And then, yeah. Yeah. I would be like, Rain, get your hair done. You need to do stuff like that. And you was like in this phase of not doing stuff. So then all of a sudden you just became the beauty queen.
I was going through a tomboy phase at that too. I remember that because I couldn't fit in with the girls. So I pushed and fit in with the guys. I was like, because I wasn't the standard of the girls and I just wasn't them. So I was like, you know what? Let me just be a tomboy.
Yeah, I hated that.
Yeah. And you hated my little emo phase when I used to wear all the dark liner and the red hair and the dark baggy clothes. You told me about this because I used to do my makeup horribly.
Yeah, you got pink eye.
I did.
Yeah.
What's up with
I
that?
told you, I said, stop using other people. You're hard-headed. But see, my thing is like, it's weird because I try to treat you like, it was weird because I know you're my daughter, but I had to put standards on you like you was a boy. Meaning like, you gotta hit that wall and see if it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. Because if I tell you don't go, because you just like, oh, I'm gonna go, you're gonna have to do it anyway. So sometimes making that mistake on your own, you'll realize it faster than me. I didn't want to be like how most parents, don't do that. I always be like, all right, Ray.
Yeah, you used to do that.
I'd be like, okay. I said,
Yeah,
you
you
walk up
used
here with
that.
your eyes all buck, then I should be like, Ray, I should tell you, I said, Ray, ain't no boy gonna want you if you keep doing stuff like that. Then I should tell you that. Exactly.
Yeah, you used to do that a lot. But I think it was
Because-
harder getting in trouble by you because you used to be like, you would show disappointment in me. As for like, mom would just get mad at me, but you would like show like, you wouldn't even like yell at me. You would just be like you didn't want to talk to me.
Yeah, because that was just unacceptable. Everything.
And I used to feel like I was the worst.
It was unacceptable. It was just honest. I was like, this is just not, I can't believe you. But look, you got it together though. That's what life is about. And you got more journey to go from after this. That's my point. So you take these stories, you keep building on them, and that's what life is about, all these memories. You know what I'm saying? And we being together as a family to tell these stories. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a God blessing. That's a gift from God to have that synergy of family that you can share these moments with.
And that would lead me into my question of like, have you ever seen any changes or things I've done that just, you really had a proud father moment?
That's kind of hard, right? Because I always have proud father moments, no matter what. You taught me so much. You taught me how to be a little softer, how to pay attention to other people's feelings. I remember a time I used to get mad about your hair all the time. And I remember one time it stuck with me. You opened the door, and the first time I said, Rain, where'd you get your hair? I didn't even say hi to you. And I saw your face, how disappointed you was. And every time I say I make a promise, I never did that no more. So after that point, because it hurt me to the core, and I was like, I don't know what kind of emotions, but whatever the emotion was at that moment, I prayed on it, cried about it, and I said I would never make my daughter feel like, because I don't know, the look you gave me, like, I'm not worthy, I'm not this. Like, it was that look without saying it. And so from that point on, it's like, I never really, like, if you notice, like, I just let you find yourself. I think I was trying to find you. And what that moment was to sit back. And that's when I realized that me and God are both co-parenting you. You know what I'm saying? And I realized, like, I have to fall back and let you become Rain. And let you discover you and be the father and help you say, well, look, baby girl, I don't know if this is the right way, but if you want to do it, I support you. You know what I'm saying? You taught me how to be that, how to accept your choices. And then there was another time when you was crying, you was like, Dad, you just don't trust me. And I was like, yeah, I do trust you. You know what I'm saying? And that point is those moments of those emotions allow me to see through your lens as a young girl growing to be a teenage girl. And it was you gave me some eye openers that made me change my perspective of how I, dealt with you. So after those moments, I kind of like didn't really cringe or anything. I just let you become you.
Yeah, which I'm still navigating through. Like, I'm still gonna continue navigating through. It was hard though, because like even with those small expectations, you would see that as such a small expectation. But for me, anything you or mom would say, I would hold to such a high standard when it came to something you guys were disappointed or mad at me about, because I saw you guys at such a high light, especially because of everything you guys have accomplished. It was like my expectations for my life were just like up extremely high. And even though like you wouldn't say every single expectation you may have for me or may not have for me, it was like I always held myself up to these extremely high expectations, especially because of what you've done in your life and then what mom's done in her life too. It was like high expectations all the time.
I don't know why.
It's just like a...
That was on you, because I never put it on you to do this. I wanted you to be you.
You never like... We both never were able to communicate.
Yeah, but I never communicate and say, hey, you should be doing this. You got to do this. That wasn't me with you.
Yeah.
You know that for a fact. I let you be, because I was living a child through you, like going to parks, going to these Disney World stuff that I wouldn't take time out to do for myself. You understand? So I was living through you. So it wasn't like, oh, let's go get on the stage. No, I was coming back to be, I was an adult. But having you as a child, I was a child with you, you know, getting on rides and doing stuff that I wouldn't normally do. So I wasn't pushing you to have this high expectation of to be great. You know what I'm saying? I never taught that on you. Even to this day, I just said, figure out who you want to be and be the best at it. You know, I do that all the time.
Speaking of that though, I remember when you first learned how to start swimming because...
Of you.
Yeah.
Of you. Like I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Of you, yeah. I saw you do a lot more than I do. So I live through your lens more than what you think. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, my life is like a sheltered kind of life. Same as yours, but you done a lot more through your, like, all the way up to, you're 17 now, but I watch you from 12, 13, a lot of little things, you know, trick-or-treating in the neighborhood. Those gave me feeling of when I used to trick-or-treat with Uncle Marcus and Eric and Uncle Lance, you know what I'm saying? We used to do those when we was little, you know, it just living through you was like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, and you'd always get like, not nervous, but nervous whenever I would tell you like all the things I would do because I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. Because even when I first got into horseback riding, you were like, that's dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, you do make me nervous, jumping off boats and stuff like that. I'm like, yo.
I actually fractured something in my butt because I jumped off the boat and it was, you know how like her mom had like a really, really big boat. Mm-hmm. I jumped off the top and I landed and I went like that. And I landed and I fractured it. I had to swim back like this. I've done so many things. I fell into the water in the Bahamas in the middle of the ocean off the jet ski. I went parasailing.
See, you never, that's cool. See, that's what you like.
My next thing is to jump out of a plane.
No, don't do that, bro. You can't do that, bro. Let's go on with one of them air balloons. That one you just fly like that.
No, that's not.
I'm telling you, that's the same. What? No, bro, don't do that.
Air balloon is scarier.
Not the air. You know, it's like they got the feeling where you can jump out to make you feel like you are.
Are you talking about the inside?
Yeah.
I'm not going to no inside course where they lift you up with the air and the thing. That's the only plane you should jump out. No, it would be so fun. There's so many things. It's so
See, that's different between you. You more adventurous.
It's just so fun. Like once you do it, you just feel thrilled.
Is it a rush or is it fun?
It's like adrenaline.
See, that's what you see. I don't want you to have that.
No,
it's two things. You can't be a superstar and have.
Yes, you can. That's called rain.
No, that's when you go crazy. No, that's when you go.
I'm not crazy. I just like
that's what you say today. It's like come 5 or 6 years now because all of that be short circuit.
No.
I'm telling you, you don't want to have all. That's too much. It's too much. I'm telling you, success and adrenaline.
You just didn't have adrenaline.
No.
Exactly. So you can't even say it.
That's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna end this off with a question of what advice would you give young creatives and young fathers of daughters today with your opinion on just life in general?
A young father that has a daughter, I think, there's really nothing you can really tell a father, but just be there for his daughter the best way you can. You're not gonna hit all points as a young father. You're just not. But if that daughter is the light of your heart, be there. Be there as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? Understand that it's like, you're gonna have to sacrifice some time. If the young father is busy, don't be selfish. That's the best thing I can say. Always pay attention to the feeling of your daughter. That's what I would tell a young father. Just don't be selfish, if I had to say it in one word. Okay. That's really it. That's what I'm gonna tell you. If you're young, you better keep creating. You young. I can't tell. Look.
Why do you say it with that type of face, though?
Because that's what I do every night. I tell them, keep creating. Because you never know what you're gonna get. The moment you stop creating is like, if you are creative, the true test is, if you are creative, it's nothing you can tell a person. If you tell them to stop creating, they will feel empty. You know what I'm saying? If you're a true creative. So to tell a young creative, I think is really like, first of all, the first step is, are you a creative? And how do you answer that is by keep creating. When you create, do you love it? Do you feel great? Does the world stop? And if those things happen while you creating, keep creating. That's why I tell it. Because I can't tell you what you're making out of that creation. You just gotta keep creating and never put it down. Now, it's cool to take a break, but you always pick it back up. Regroup, rethink, recalibrate, but never stop creating.
Something I've wondered is like, do you feel with coming into fame and success, do you feel more connected or isolated?
What is fame and success? That's the key.
What is fame and success?
I don't know what that is. I think society puts that on you.
How come?
Because that's just what we do as humans. You know what I'm saying?
Like put people to this standard.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a big thing though, because everyone's always on a pedestal. You always have somebody.
But I think fame is different and success is different today in your generation, because fame could be relatable. It's about relation. This podcast, it's people gonna relate to your topics as a young adult. So people be like, you're speaking for millions for other people who don't know how to speak. That's what fame is to me now. Because I feel like everybody's famous in their own way.
I think that's how you see it.
It's just society, and I think everybody's famous in their own way. Everybody has a platform.
Now, speaking for my generation, I think it is even more idolized, but not in the way that it was in your generation. I think it's idolized in the way of people will love you for a few seconds, then they'll change on you like that. Like they'll get you famous. They'll get you famous. They'll get you where you need to be. Then they'll keep an eye on you at all times. It's called Hunger Games.
That's your generation, Hunger Games. Put you to the top. Now we gotta kill them.
Well, it really happens.
It's
That's
really
the cancel
truth.
culture.
And the whole point is, can you survive? I'm gonna put you up there. It's almost like, okay, you want it? Here you go. Now I'm gonna throw this at you. And then you gotta know how to duck it.
And I feel like it's a strong thing because I don't know if it was as heavy as your generation, but now the cancel culture is like...
What is that?
I couldn't even explain it to you if I wanted to, but I just know that there's a whole bunch of people that are really sensitive that...
But let me ask you something. Is that just online or that's outside when you walk outside?
Everybody's online now.
So then it's a bot cancel because you don't know if they're real or not. So it goes back to my thing of you better learn AI.
What did you just do, blink?
Yeah, you better know. You better know about social, because it's like that's controlling y'all minds. Because y'all don't. What we done in our day, we socialize. We didn't know. We said, I was looking at the old Dave Chappelle. I'm like, yo, this can't play today. The stuff that he said and that stuff. I'm like, but it was free. It was like we was more cool, and it didn't bother us. Y'all I feel like it's bots along with a couple maybe people that feel a certain way. But I feel like it's, soon as we got online, I feel like, I don't know if it's controlled by government or certain thing, but I feel like
I also think it's an alter ego that people have. It's like everyone, almost everyone, I'm not gonna say everyone, almost everyone will obviously go up against somebody if they know they have like a shield of protection. That phone, that screen is your shield of protection. Nobody maybe know who you are. They won't know who you are. If you have a Finsta, nobody's gonna know who you are. Even if they do know who you are, it's not gonna matter.
Finsta, what is that?
It's a fake Insta.
Oh my goodness.
No, for real.
Listen.
Who is Rain? You have Insta.
That's just too much.
It's for real. It's stuff like you don't post on your main. I guess it's more for our generation. Like, you wouldn't have it. If I saw you have it, I would ask you what's going on.
I mean, like, what's the purpose of having like all these different accounts?
It's like a camera roll stuff, like stuff you wouldn't normally post on your main account. Let's say that like somebody has a main account for business only. They'll have a Finsta, so it's like all the stuff you usually wouldn't post. Or sometimes some people use it for stalking. Some people, like, for real.
Let me ask you something. What do y'all? So that's how. Do y'all even do Discords? You even know about that?
No.
That's like what gamers go on Discord. See, I feel like gamers are more realer than anybody. You know why? Because they communicate.
Through the screen?
No, headphones.
Not all of them have.
Yes, they do. If you play Call of Duty, we talking crap to one another. And then I notice people be like, where you live at? Yo, when I come over to that state, I'm gonna hook up with you. I think gaming has a connectivity of human connectivity to it. So it's like, I feel like Insta and all these Insta and all that, it's like it's just pictures, chat, but at least with gaming, people get on and be like, you go on a Call of Duty, I'll be on there, and then just be meeting people and you talk to kids and then be.
But it's different because, like, let's say that somebody isn't into gaming. What if they're more into picture taking? I'm more of the one that
they have Discord. They have like channels where people go up and show, like, that's a thing where everybody get in Discord. It's like Clubhouse. So they'll get in there and talk and say, oh, this is the photographer Discord. And it's like all y'all friends are built up and y'all just talk, share information, but at least it's just not typing. At least you having a conversation in a Discord. That's what I think y'all generation need to do, more Discord, even if it was close friends. And I think that was the beauty, what I did like about, which is still around, is Clubhouse. Because people make their own accounts to have communication instead of talking. I think that's what's missing in y'all generation. Y'all don't talk.
Yeah, I think it's harder for us to like have conversations, especially in person though. I think that in-person conversations are really important, but like we lack that, especially because I was talking with my friends, like we are so open on social media. We could tell somebody like our whole life story on social media, but the second we get in person, we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's good to know you. I don't know, but I was saying, like, for example, girls will comment on my post, I love you, but I never met them a day in my life. Like, I don't love you, so how do you love me? And it comes from the depths of that, is that some people will just be so open to you over the screen. And it could probably even happen in gaming. It's like,
you can, but at least you hearing that person talk.
You should be an advocate for gaming.
Yeah, like, yeah, what you doing? I'm going up that hill. Come follow me, bro.
I guess it's like all different perspectives. It just comes in the depths of like who you really are behind it all.
Basically.
I guess that's how we'll end it today. Who are you behind watching this today? And so I want to say thank you.
Well, thank you, because this has been different.
And thank you for watching. You know, today was a very interesting topic. You get to see a different type of father-daughter relationship bond. And tune in for next week's episode. And thank you for watching Rain Check.